There's a season that nobody prepares you for, the one between effort and evidence. Hello, and welcome back to Bitch You Can. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. Today's coming from a very different energy because I'm tired. I'm not feeling okay. I'm just going to put it out there. I was this close to just going, I'm going to take a break this week and I'm not going to do an episode because I just don't feel in the energy for it. And then I thought that's all the reason to do it, because the whole point of this platform, the whole point of this podcast is to share the real ins and outs of building yourself, what actually you go through, and sharing my insight. So if I wasn't to show up today, I feel like it would go against everything I stand for. Instead of me coming on here pretending like I'm full of fire, I'm actually going to talk you through the seasons that nobody actually tells you, or not many people want to show you. Let's talk about this pressure that we put on ourselves to always be on, or this pressure to always be inspired, this pressure to always be creative, this pressure to always be moving forward. And I know I've spoken a little bit on these topics before, but today I'm in that season, I'm in that chapter, I'm in that moment, if you like, where I don't feel motivated, I don't feel inspired, I feel quite if I'm honest, like I do not feel my usual self today, and I should tell you for why. There's a few reasons behind it. I am just about to come on my period. I always struggle around then. I have to remind myself, it's because your period's coming. Your period is on its way. This isn't how you feel. This isn't you, this is your period coming. Like, this is not you. I always get this overriding sense of dread or anxiety when I'm about to come on my period. I know there's a lot of you that will relate to that. My hormones, I don't feel as strong, I don't feel as energetic, I feel quite low, actually. Some months are worse than others, but right now, I feel heavy, like in my chest it feels heavy. And I feel like in life, whether that be in relationships, your business, your job, your friendships, even with your relationship with yourself, with your healing, with your building, with your bettering yourself, there's this pressure to always be switched on. There's this pressure to always be up here. And I know some people will try and show you how it's going, but we're all in it together. I'm never going to sit here and say I've got that all figured out, because I don't. I genuinely still have days where I feel really low. Don't get me wrong, I've sat this morning and some of you are going to be like, oh, here she goes. You might have seen on my stories, on my main page, I went to a crystal shop with my best friend on Friday, and it was very impromptu, but we went to a crystal shop, and for the longest time I've wanted to be incorporating oracle, like cards, into my meditation, into my visualization, just into my day-to-day. So went in this shop and there was these cards, and one just really spoke to me, one deck. So I got it, and I've been incorporating that into my daily routine. And today I was feeling really stuck about the podcast. This morning I went to the gym, but you know what? I'm taking this as a win. I went to the gym when normally on days like today I wouldn't go because I feel like, I can't be bothered. I was not as strong today, and I'm just accepting that. But that's okay. I still went, and me going there, even though I didn't feel energetic and I didn't feel powerful, when I left, it was that moment of I still did it. I still showed up, and for me that's a massive win, because normally I would just kind of cocoon away and try and muster up my energy to then come on and give energy elsewhere. But actually I gave the little energy that I had, I gave it to myself in the gym. So anyway, I'm doing this meditation, and I was asking for clarity, and I was asking what message, because normally even if it comes to me on that morning, the message will come through and I feel really empowered and feel really inspired and really good. I show up here and I give it all this energy and I'm wow. But today I just weren't feeling that, and so I asked for clarity, or asked what message needs to come through today. And the card I pulled was really interesting. It basically was an emotional awakening, emotional awareness card, and it was basically like, trust your intuition. use your emotions as a compass and trust in the way you're going. And I did a meditation afterwards, and the things that come through is really interesting. And that's why I was like, no, I am doing the podcast today, because actually I need to trust in my emotion, I need to trust in my intuition and trust in my instinct that actually this is the message that we need today. Like, you don't always have to be turned on, you don't always have to be high energy, you don't always have to be perfect, you don't have to always be those things. This is real life, and we're not always up here. And I say that all the time, like, nothing's ever linear, we're going up, down, all around. Well, today I'm feeling down, and I'm here to share it with you, not to bring you down with me, but to make you feel power even on those days where you don't feel powerful. And it's okay, because some days, like today, I just woke up, I'm not mentally broken, nothing's triggered me, I'm not lost, there's no real, like, I have to dig deep and find out why I feel this way. I'm just tired. I'm just tired, and that's okay to be just tired, darling. A lot of you, like, when you feel this way, it's like we kind of have to put this pressure, like I said, we put this pressure on us to figure out why, or to be like, well, why do I feel this way? Or, oh, I'm not doing enough because let me snap myself out of this fucking funk. I'm just tired. So today I need to give to me, because I'm just tired, and that's okay. Because I feel like so many of us will spend the rest of the energy trying to figure out why we feel this way, when it could be that your body's just telling you, darling, just have a fucking breather today. The difference is, and this is the same for me, this is only something recently that I'm really starting to embrace on these days. That's why I want to come up and show up like this. I feel this heaviness here, I don't feel energetic, but that's okay. But I want to show you that that's normal, that's okay. If you look at me and think, oh, every fucking day she's got a shit worked out, I ain't. I ain't. Doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with me, doesn't mean anything's gone wrong when I'm feeling like this. It just means I'm a normal human being. I'm a normal hormonal woman who has spikes of hormones in her month, and that's okay. We've been so conditioned to believe that consistency means constant intensity. Like, you've always, like, to be consistent, it's this intensity all the time. And this is something I've had to rewire my brain on, because that's exactly like I mentioned before. And like, you can put this in any perspective of your life. You might not be somebody that is into the gym or lifting weights, or maybe you can put this into your business, or maybe you can put this into your friendships, maybe you can put this into your job, maybe you can put this into a relationship, maybe you can put this into, like, how you eat, however you want to relate this. But for me, I had to really rewire my brain with this, because I would constantly, when I have these days where I'm just feeling like, you know what, I just feel a bit mesh, feel a bit tired, I can't really pinpoint it. I mean, generally, like I say, it is to do with my hormones, but I have to, one, remind myself, if I'm due my period, I'm like, I know it's my period. It's not, this isn't me, this is my period, it's going to pass. You know, not every day you're going to feel fucking tip-top-roo, and not every day will you feel like, oh my God, everyone hates me and I'm a failure. Because if some of you huns out there struggle with that with your periods, I feel you, because same. It's just reminding yourself, it's my period talking, it's okay. In terms of how I can relate this, is like, you know, going to the gym, and it's like being consistent is the same intensity or being stronger each week. And that's why with the gym I would stop and start, because I'd get to this point and I'd have a day like today and I'd be like, I'm just not going to go. Or she's like, I'm not as strong, just fuck off, because I just fucking don't want to do it because I'm not as strong and I'm not making progress. But actually, then me not going turns into me not going for a week. Then I feel like shit. Then I'm end up in this spiral. So actually, the consistency is, I still went today, even though I didn't do a full workout, even though I didn't hit all the same weights I normally hit, I still went. That's still consistency. It might not be the same intensity, but it's still consistency. So the card I pulled this morning was all around inner voice and emotional intuition. It was a real eye-opener to me, and how incredible that it come through today. Because at first I was a bit like, why have I got this card? Like, why have I got this card? I know I'm intuitive, I know I'm an emotional being, and I know my voice will help others because I do the podcast. I want help on what message goes on the podcast. And then I was about to be like, oh, fucking I ain't doing the podcast today, because what have I got to give? But actually, growth isn't about always give and push. Growth is about knowing when to pull back. It's about having slower days for you to recoup. It's about listening rather than pushing. It's about sitting in stillness, sitting with yourself rather than pushing and being on all the time. those days, like this day that I'm having today, is just as important as my high energy days. It's all about having the balance. And I need these days to not go in on myself, but I need these days to have this moment where I pull back. It's like a slingshot, babe. You got to fucking pull back to shoot forward. So if you're at a point in your life where you're feeling like how I'm feeling today, maybe you've been feeling like this for a few days, maybe you've been feeling like this for a few weeks or months, and that's okay. But it's knowing to let yourself just feel, let yourself be still, let yourself have these slow moments. And be kind to yourself and give to yourself and forgive yourself for feeling this way. You are human. You cannot be up and on all the fucking time. It doesn't work. But these days that you're feeling right now are just important as those high energy growth days. But the thing is, it's very important to give to yourself on these days. Know when to pull back. Know when to step back. And give to you on these days. Because if you push on these days, it's overwhelm, overstimulation, burnout. And then it's that constant cycle of then when you talk to yourself like shit, you feel like a failure, being left behind. And it's only you that's telling yourself this narrative. And then you cannot get out of this feeling, because this dreaded anxiety that I have sat in my chest right now, that doesn't go away. It gets bigger and bigger until it consumes you. Until the point of no return. And then you just start living and believing this narrative, and you just start living your life like that every day, and you forget how it feels to have them high energy days. So not every chapter, not every season, not every fucking moment, not every fucking day of your life is meant to be loud, vibrant, and out there. And it's not failure. As I've said before, it's recalibration, it's integration, it's knowing. And this is where you have to rewire your brain. And I'm right on that journey with you, because this is something new to me too. It's about these days where you're feeling like this, to pull back for you. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this episode. I'm not sat here giving you all the answers and the fucking big energy, but I'm being real, I'm being honest, and I'm sharing something that a lot of us feel, but we hide behind, or we try and push through, and we don't accept it for what it is. That it is a slingshot. Think of a slingshot. To fucking go forward, you have to pull it back. Or is this a bow and arrow? I suppose it's a slingshot too, right? You got a slingshot, pow, and then a bow and arrow. So either way, to shoot forward, you got to go back. It could be that you're in the build or something, your job, your business, your physical health, your mental health, your friendships, a project, even a new hobby, new habits. It could be anything. Within that build, you have moments where you're actually giving more than you're receiving. Within your business, you're putting out more than what you're getting back. You're spending hours on the content. You're spending hours on outreach. You're spending hours trying to make content and finding the content, doing your T's and C's, doing your pricing. You're spending hours doing that. But the clients and everything to come back isn't quite happening yet. It could be that you're in the gym, eating well. You're putting it all out, but you're not seeing the results yet. It could be that you're at work and you're putting in all the hours, you're doing the overtime, but you haven't had that pay rise come through yet. It could be your healing journey, that you're doing all these things, you're pushing it out there, you're trying, but you're still not feeling like you've had a breakthrough. You're not feeling like you're feeling peace yet. You're just feeling that heavy ickiness. So all of these things, when you're building something meaningful, we're all going through these moments where sometimes it does feel like we're giving more than we're receiving. Whether that's energy, time, emotion, money, any of those currencies. That is what can make you feel like you're being left behind. You end up questioning yourself. You're just tired. But that doesn't mean it's not working for you. That doesn't mean it's not under the surface happening. Because a lot of the time, the work's actually happening underneath, like where we can't see it. It's like this old saying, and I've used this term, I think I've used this on the podcast in the early days actually, but this is something I've always, for myself, tried to envision, and also with the girls I've worked with in the past, is a bamboo root seed, a bamboo seed. You plant it and you water it every day. The first year, nothing comes out the soil. Second year, nothing comes out the soil. Third year, nothing. Fourth year, nothing. Fifth year, like a little tiny head comes up, and then in 6 weeks, it's like, I can't remember how many feet it is up in the air, but it shoots right on top of the air and is fucking taller than you. So this is what I'm saying is, under the surface, think of that bamboo seed. Under the surface, it's there. It's curating, it's setting its roots, it's setting down its intentions, it's getting ready to fucking skyrocket. But 5 years of watering, and then in 6 weeks it shoots up and it goes way above and beyond you. So sometimes it's like all that work. So when we feel like we're giving and we're not getting much back yet, we have to remind ourselves all that work's happening under the surface. And you having consistency has to include these days where you have to pull back to give to yourself. It can't just be push the whole time, because you'll burn out and then you give up. It's like I was listening. Oh my God, this is so interesting. This is so interesting. It's just come to me, and I listened to this last night. The universe is so cheeky. A lot of you are like, Amy, you've lost your fucking head now. So interesting. Nothing in this world is a coincidence. I'm telling you now. I'm so glad I've done this now, because I actually feel better. I was listening to an audiobook last night. Literally just 10 minutes. Anyone that's read Think and Grow Rich, this is just the 10-minute version. It's on Audible, and you can just listen to 10 minutes a day. And this is something me and Luke are starting every evening, just with our hot chocolates, listening to 10 minutes before we go to bed. So last night we listened to 10 minutes, and there was these 2 gold minders, or 1 gold mine, I can't exactly remember. And basically they're digging. They found this gold, then they're digging. They cannot, there's no other gold. So they sell their tools, secondhand tools, for not a lot of money. Next thing you know, someone else comes in. There's a different meaning to this story, but I just find it interesting how I've just thought of it and how I listened to it last night, and how this kind of ties into what I'm saying in a really unorthodox way. So just bear with me as I beat around this fucking bush. But isn't it interesting? They sold their tools for like secondhand, very cheap, just sold their tools off. They're not going to dig anymore because they've been digging for however long, and that's it. They can't find any more gold. This then person comes in, he brings someone in with the knowledge, and it's about the gold veins running through. And 3 foot from where those people stopped digging, this guy then finds a fucking gold, like for miles, like millions and millions of dollars worth of gold. Those people gave up because they're push, probably got to a point where they're fucking burnt out, they're tired, they feel like they're failing, they feel like they're left behind, it feels like there's no point going on anymore. But actually, if they had probably structured themselves and given to themselves and know when to pull back, and given to themselves on days like this, and accepted that days like this are the days that incorporated into our growth journey, because it ain't fucking linear, they would have had that millions. I mean, it went on to the guy being, and he channeled his lesson that he learned there. He channeled that into another business, and he went on to earn and millions through, I think, his insurance company. But anyway, does that make sense? I know that's probably not the whole gist of that story, but I just find that interesting how that just came into my mind, because I listened to it last night, and that's all tied in with this podcast. After being like, I'm not going to do this podcast today. Thank you, universe. Thank you, angels. Love you so much. You lot are definitely going to think I've lost the fucking plot. I know I'm feeling a bit funky, but I already feel lighter just from speaking about this, because I know a lot of you listening are going to be like, oh my God, I feel like that too today. Or like, oh my God, that was me last week. Or, oh, I know that's going to be me next week. It's just a reminder of this is normal. If you think anyone on this earth does not have these days like this, doesn't have a bit of imposter syndrome, doesn't have the anxiety, doesn't have a little, even if it's like, for me, it's like heaviness. Like I said, it's like this heavy feeling in here of anxiety. If you're telling me there isn't people out here that just get this little flicker of it, even if they don't suffer with the big anxiety, they don't get a little flicker of it, fuck it off. Bullshit. Nobody on this earth, no one on this earth, every day is a sunshine day for them. No way. But it's how you forgive yourself, how you nurture yourself, how you understand yourself, and how you give grace to yourself. That's your consistency. It's not the intensity. And that's where the card I pulled is so interesting. I wish I brought it up here with me. The card I pulled is so interesting in trusting your inner voice, because today wasn't about forcing a fucking perfect episode. It was about anchoring in to trusting you and trusting me, trusting the message that had to come through, and this was that message. Your inside voice, your inside monologue, your intellect, your feelings, your emotions, your hormones, whatever, however it interpretates for you. But your inside voice usually is getting drowned out by outside noise, outside factors, expectations, comparison, culture, productivity. Like, normally that voice getting drowned out by all of those things. But your intuition will always whisper. So it could be just you waking up feeling tired. That's your intuition saying, babe, today's a pullback day, so fucking pull back for you. So you listen to that rather than this inner voice trying to calm it whilst you're getting drowned out by comparison and all that other shit. Take a day to pull back for you and listen. Your intuition always knows, whether you think you're an intuitive being or not, whether you believe in spirituality or not, whether you believe in religion or not, whether you believe in the universe or not, whether you believe in fucking whatever or not. You know your body better than anyone else. You can't argue with me on that fact. You know you and you know your body better than anyone else. Even if you're someone who is so fucking far away from her true self right now because she's on this journey to finding herself again, you still know your body. Just start trusting it. If you wake up tomorrow and you feel like me today, just trust that shit. Trust that energy and fucking have a pullback day. Think of me saying, bitch, it's a slingshot. You gotta pull back, get ready to let go and spring forward tomorrow or next week or next month. Because there's no right or wrong of how long you'll feel like this. There's no right or wrong to how many times you're going to feel like this a month, a week, a day. It's about getting yourself out of the shit quicker. It's about learning to trust yourself again. It's about giving yourself grace on these days and knowing you don't have to show up perfect. You just have to listen to yourself and you have to give yourself that love and respect you deserve. Healing Girl homework. I want you to ask yourself, am I pushing because it feels aligned, or am I too scared to slow down? And that's it. And just sit with that. And then you can determine today whether it's a pullback or shoot forward. But remember, honour yourself and give yourself grace, because consistency ain't intensity. Consistency is about showing up, and sometimes the showing up that you need to do today is to show up for you, not for everyone else. Not every season is loud. Don't be afraid to have a pullback day. Remember, you're not being left behind. You are integrating and calibrating into you to get ready for this next chapter. The fact that you're showing up shouts fucking volumes. Remember, don't get it twisted with showing up means I have to pretend and deliver something. Showing up means I'm showing up for me in a authentic way for me that will honour my energy and meet my energy where it's at right now. Not every chapter is meant to be loud like a fucking play script. Some of your chapters are just meant for quiet reading. Thank you. I know I wasn't in my usual self today, but I really appreciate you still listening, still supporting, and I really hope you took something from this episode, because the message had to get out there today, and this was the message. So I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode. We're all in this together, and I appreciate you every week for listening and for dedicating this time for you and for doing those Healing Girl homeworks to build you, taking that time to actually give to yourself. I'm so proud of you. So thank you. Please like, rate and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening or watching this on. It would mean the world to me, especially on a day like today. So thank you. And as always, see you in the next one. Love you, bye.